Hey there, Mike. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm excited.
Excited about this show?
Yes.
Some pirates. It's gonna be great. But obviously, we're talking pirates. We need the pirate king.
Yes.
We got the pirate king,
Yeah!
Mr. Kaleb Koho.
Yeah. Hey! It's gonna be hype.
So, obviously, everybody knows that if we're gonna talk pirates, we have to talk to this man right here.
Yes.
And since we already ranked fandom matches yesterday, we could not do that again. It would be repetitive. We have to be original. Also, when we discussed about doing something pirate related, I really didn't know what to do because I didn't want to rank the movies. It's just 5 movies. It's kind of, it's all going to be same shit. Boring. So I decided that we might have to do the side characters, but we also did that with the Australians. No originality. Let's rank them boats. Oh shit. We had boatmen here and we didn't direct boats with boatmen. That is a completely missed opportunity. I blame you, Mike.
Yeah. As per usual.
You should have told me or come up with the idea so I could take credit for it. Let's just call it ships so I feel better about it. Top ships in Pirate of the Caribbean. I think that's good.
Yeah.
So, this is a thing that we do every time, and nobody has ever beaten us. How many ships can you rank?
11.
Fuck. We got 8. Are there 11?
Well, there's actually like 20 something, but I stuck to the 11 that are like actually like named that I actually kind of give a fuck about.
What? How the fuck are 20 boats?
Well, there's at least like 3 or 4 ship fights a movie. So
that's actually pretty impressive.
And then at World's End they got like 80 boats in one shot.
Yeah,
massive.
It's not like they're named.
All of them have names.
Yeah.
Let's say, for the first time ever, actually, our guest will start.
Yeah.
You can do 11, 10, and 9, and then I'll jump in with 8. So,
lovely.
What do you got for 11? And if you have a picture, shoot it my way.
I will. So my number 11 is The Dying Gull.
Samesies.
That's lovely. Okay, lovely. My number 10 is The Endeavor.
Samesies.
Lovely. And my 9 is The Dauntless.
The what?
The Dauntless. Okay. So I will share that picture with you. It's this thingy right here. There's not really a good picture of it that I'm currently sharing, but it is the original ship that Jack and Will steal in Curse of the Black Pearl that Norrington then has to sail on for the rest of the movie before the Interceptor. And the thing with this ship is you can already see they have those long 9s sort of on the front that are like killer. That the only reason that they don't sink the Interceptor in the first 20 minutes of the movie is because the Interceptor is just so fucking fast. But you can see all the ships, all the cannons that line the side of that gun, like right here. Yeah. All these are cannons, and that's sick. It's a triple cabin deck in the back here. The sails are elaborate. Like this thing looks just cool as shit.
It's a pretty good boat.
Yeah.
Mike, why didn't we rank this fucking boat?
It's beyond me.
We probably didn't find it on the wiki. So, then, since that's your 11, 10, and 9, I'm going to go with my 8. And our number 8, it's the same as from before. It's The Endeavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
This boat is Lord Beckett's ship. We just felt like we kind of had to put one of the British Navy ones here because, I mean, there's a lot of haunted ships and a lot of cool pirate ships. But I mean, the Navy from Britain deserves a spot.
Yeah.
Actually, the coolest thing about this boat is how it gets fucking destroyed.
It's true.
It's been followed by the Black Pearl, and it kind of goes on the one side, and they're like, "Ha! They're never gonna get us. We're just gonna go to the other side." And then the freaking Flying Dutchman comes from the bottom of the ocean and covers the other side, and just get blown to pieces in between the two boats. One of my favorite scenes of that movie, actually. So, yeah, let's put a British one there.
Yeah.
Never.
The Endeavor was my 10.
Makes sense.
We talked about cannons. That puppy's got fucking cannons. They have, I think I counted. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 15 cannons in one row, and they have 3 rows of that on both sides. So there are like over
90
100. There's
90.
almost 100 cannons on this boat, which is insane. The firepower of the Endeavor is sick. And they got fucking destroyed by 2 boats we'll talk about later.
Probably. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is the Troubadour.
Samesies.
Samesies.
Cool.
So then I talk about my 7 then, right?
No, we go with 7.
Okay.
So, wait. Did we wait? You did 8, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I did my
7. Yes. Yeah. Our 7 is the same shit from before. The Dying Gull. Let me get it here. Boom. Look at that beautiful piece of work right there.
Look at that.
It's like a tiny skip.
It got the job done when Jack had nothing else.
Is that like actually a boat? It's a little dilapidated. Yeah. He had nothing else. Yeah, they actually like beached this boat for a while and became like a base of operation for pirates. And then they just threw it in the water to see if it still could hold, and it did. So I'm pretty sure this is the beginning of That Man Tell No Tales, right?
Okay.
Yeah, when Jack doesn't have anything else, he has the Dying Gull, and it's kind of sweet. I actually think it's a very cute boat, and I like it.
Yeah, that was my 11. So like that, I put this one dead last of any of the prominent boats, namely because this thing's got no cannons. This thing's got no defenses. Those sails look like they're about to fall apart if they get a strong enough breeze. Pretty sure that if a wave flies up too high, that thing's just gonna soak into pieces. But you know what? It's a charming little dinghy. It's charming. It's that rustic, good, nice attempt kid boat for a pirate who used to have one of the most fearsome ships. And it works in the context of the story. It works really well that his ship is now a tiny, it's basically a fishing vessel with a Jolly Roger on it. But yeah, that thing would get absolutely obliterated. That's why it's last.
I'm starting to think that Caleb Boatman is kind of like a cannon whore. Like, look at them cannons. Yeah. 7. That was your 7.
So yeah, my 7 is there's a name for this ship, but I usually just call it that one merchant ship that the Kraken fucks up. It's pretty cool. It's called the Edinburgh Trader, I think is its technical name. But that thing that I got here it's a beautiful looking ship. That thing is beautifully crafted. It's a merchant ship, so it's not meant for actual like combat or anything.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest things at that man's chest is when the Kraken sinks that motherfucker. It's a sweet boat. It's very well built and crafted. It's a very pretty ship. And so when it gets absolutely obliterated by the disgusting tentacles in this movie, you kind of feel a little extra like, damn it, the Edinburgh Trader. Why the Edinburgh Trader? So yeah, I put that at 7 just because it's pretty.
I'm actually thinking that the coolest thing in this picture is the motherfucking Kraken.
That's true.
I honestly Did not realize this boat had a name. I think it was just a filler boat.
Right there.
Good for you. You did your homework.
Right there.
I
think you already said our number 6.
I believe so.
Did he?
I don't know now. What was it? Number 5 he said.
It used to be the fastest ship of the Navy, and it became the fastest pirate ship, the Interceptor.
That's samesies.
Ooh.
For like higher?
Higher. Samesies.
Dang. Okay. What's your 6?
My 6 is a slight cheat. I will admit that now. I did a little flipsy doodle. It's the Wicked Wench. The Wicked Wench you will recognize from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
That's the ride.
Yeah, I actually saw that on the wiki and I went, no, it says the ride. I can't.
The Wicked Wench is actually from the ride, but it's probably the most beautiful ship I've ever seen. Yeah. The red is just popping, and every time you see it, every time you go on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, every time the Wicked Wench shows up, you're like, fuck yeah, we're at the best part of the ride. When it's fucking up the town.
That is like right at the beginning of the ride.
Is in Disney World, yes. In Disneyland, it's midway through.
Yeah.
In Disneyland, you take the drop, you go through these caves with dead skeletons and shit, and then you go through a waterfall that used to be really cool because it would have the faces of all the villains on it. Now the waterfall is gone. That's some bullshit. But you go through, and the Wicked Wench is there firing on Port Royal. And it's the coolest looking ship ever. I put it at 6 to homage the ride, give some honor to the thing that inspired it all. But that ship is sexy. So,
Mike, what the hell?
I saw it on the wiki, but I thought we were just doing the movie ship, so I went past it.
Dude, we just said Pirates of the Caribbean. If there was a freaking cartoon, you could have used that too. We have no rules. This kind of thing. Okay. I'll give you a pass because, I didn't put it either. So, that was number 6. Number 5. This is the same seas from earlier, actually. I'm pretty sure it is now.
I think so.
It's the Troubadour.
Hell yeah.
We put it in here because that motherfucker is Kid Richards.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he fucking
it has to be on the list.
That's my 8. Yeah.
We didn't have any other reason. It's just fucking Kid Richards, man, and he's a fucking pirate with a boat.
So
I couldn't get a better picture, but
the legend of the Troubadour in the world of Pirates of the Caribbean is that, Keith Richards fucking led this ship, and it was a flagship of an armada that included the Black Pearl, which he gave to his right hand, his first mate, and his son Jack to work on in command. And then the Salazar shit happens, and the first mate dies, and Jack becomes the captain. And because of how Jack handles Salazar, Keith Richards is like, "Hey, yo, that's your shit. You do you. You can keep it." But the Troubadour is supposed to be like, or was before the Black Pearl, the most powerful ship on the 7 seas. And like that was the original Black Pearl. So I paid homage to it because that shit's dope. Because that was like a pirate's urban legend, and then at World's End, just Keith Richards sailing up with the Troubadour. You're like, let's fucking go! So
that's an amazing boat. That's true.
It's an amazing ship.
Okay, what do you got at number 5?
My number 5 is the Empress.
What?
The Empress is the ship belonging to I want to make sure I click on the right tab when I screenshot this. Is Sao Fang's ship in At World's End that the crew takes a smaller version of to go to World's End. The Empress is a really, really fucking cool ship in design. Those sails are awesome. To do fin sails instead of the regular like blanket sails, I think is a lot cooler and actually a lot smarter of a design. I like the way that they build it. It's sleek, it's slender, it's made for speed. It's a lot more aerodynamic of a ship. It's why Sao Fang's able to get places a lot faster than other people, is because his ship is built for speed rather than war. Though he does have all those couple cannon spots there, those 5 cannon holes on the side, and then that giant plank at the front for cannons. So it's a very cool ship. I think it's a very impressive ship, both in design and how the design actually enhances the productivity of the ship is a nice touch. It just shows that Sao Fang was a lot smarter than the other pirates when designing his ship. So
I'm trying to remember who we're talking about. Is this Chow Yun Fat's ship?
yep, this is Chow Yun Fat's ship.
Okay.
I even forgot he was in the movie.
See the fucking they tow this one. The Flying Dutchman tows the ship behind it, and then Elizabeth steals the ship back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, another interesting fact about that part is that I think for China they completely edited the whole thing out of the movie.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they found it to be insulting. So, like the whole segment with Chow Yun Fat,
Damn.
that's an even crappier version of Pirates of the Caribbean. The world said.
That's
Okay.
I actually do like Sa Fang as a character. I think he's interesting. So,
Yeah, actually, I think it was a fun character, but it lasted too little in the movie.
that's true.
Number 4 for us, Queen Anne's Revenge. I think
That's the same Z's for hire.
Cool. Higher than 4. Okay. Weird. What's your 4?
My 4 is the Interceptor. The Interceptor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys had that one earlier. The Interceptor is a fast fucking ship. If for nothing more than the scene alone where the Pearl is chasing the Interceptor and they are still keeping at least a little bit of distance, shows you how fast that ship is. The Pearl, of course, has to catch up because the Pearl's the fastest ship in the fucking sea. It's a beauty. And so the Pearl catches up and wrecks them, but they have to keep unloading cargo to get more weight. But that ship is great. The Interceptors are the coolest bad guy Navy. I'll say Navy bad guy ship in the Seven Seas. It's my favorite of the crew.
They steal this one and turn it into a pirate ship, right?
They give this ship at the end to Anna Maria, who is Zoe Saldana, because he promised her, promised her that ship. So somewhere out in the Seven Seas, Anna Maria is sailing the Interceptor around doing pirate adventures.
Cool. I actually like this ship too because of the fast thing.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that the Pearl was faster. I had kind of made up in my mind that this was the fastest ship around, and I was kind of pissed that it was not a straight up pirate ship. But I did remember that it became a pirate ship at some point. And also, Zoe Saldana was in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of her first movies. Which, another missed opportunity. Like, Dead Men Tell No Tales, if they wanted to make that the end game of their movies, could have totally brought back, like, Zoe Saldana. Could have totally... And the thing that I'm mad about is that Will is the captain of the Flying Dutchman, and there's not, like, Norrington or Pinto and Rigetti on his crew because they have all died over the last couple movies. Like, why not bring them back as his crew?
Yeah.
So it's like, that way they're still in the movie. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That actually would have been a pretty cool callback. Because the one thing I do find about Stranger Tides, that even though I like that better than Dead Man Tell No Tales, is that it's the more disconnected from the lore of the other movies.
It's because it's not an original story. It's based on a book called On Stranger Tides.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not original. Most expensive. Weird.
It's almost like it's a terrible film.
Almost. So, number 3 for us. Where I got
Which means that you don't have one of these since you have Queen Anne's Revenge.
Yeah.
I'm very curious which one you don't have.
That's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
Our number 3 is the Black Pearl.
Same. Black Pearl is also my 3.
Ooh.
Perfect timing.
So we get to talk about the beautiful thing. Okay.
We get to talk about the fastest ship in the entire fucking sea. Go ahead.
Yes.
You know what? You have more lore than us. We just picked it because it looked cool. So you go first.
So the thing with the Black Pearl is it's legend because of not only its speed, but because it's one of the only pirate ships in the entire sea to have black sails. And so when the ship shows up with black sails, you fucking run. Because it's like in the first movie, you hear legends of it's a crew with the captain's a ship with black sails and captained by a man so evil that even hell spat him back out, and a crew led by the damned, and like they're like it's like the scariest fucking thing, and like that ship proves its worth in every single movie. It goes through hell. It gets eaten and sunk by the Kraken and fucking comes back. This ship is maybe the most powerful ship in the history of Pirates of the Caribbean. And I think the sequels post Outworld's End treat it with a lot of disrespect, and I hate that. The On Stranger Tides lives in a fucking bottle and it's never used. The Black Pearl is not used in On Stranger Tides. The Black Pearl comes back halfway through Dead Men Tell No Tales, and that's why you see why it's able to outrun the Silent Mary and beat the Silent Mary is because it's the Black Pearl, whereas the Dying Gull barely survives the Silent Mary. And so but that's also because the Dying Gull's a fucking dinghy. But the Black Pearl in every movie, it's faster than the Dutchman. It's faster than the Queen Anne's Revenge. It's faster than any ship on the Seven Seas. And its cannons are some of the most powerful cannons that they have. It's a ship made of legend, but there are two ships that I think are cooler still. But this is the best you can get for a default plain ship in Pirates of the Caribbean.
I really like this ship. And you're right. It kind of got screwed on the fourth movie because I guess they had no room for it, so just put it in the bottle. I don't even know if they actually explain how it got in the bottle or how it got out of the bottle.
They do explain how it gets out of the bottle.
I think they just break the bottle, something like that.
Yeah, they just break the bottle. Because then Gibbs looks at him and is like, and you didn't think of this in 5 fucking years? Because it's literally they've had that shipping a bottle for 5 years in movie universe. And they haven't thought of breaking the fucking bottle. And that's how it gets out. It's the dumbest joke in the movie, and I hate it. But it's the
worst movie.
It's almost like it's only better than the one that put it in the fucking bottle in the first place. Because the one that put it in the bottle, they don't explain how it got in the bottle. They just say Blackbeard, and you're like,
I actually really like this this boat, and I think it makes a beautiful Lego set.
That's very fair.
But yeah, I didn't have enough money to buy this when it came out. I was kind of starting up working, and now if you Google this thing on eBay, it's like over the thousands, which is insane. Kind of wish I had I think it was like $200 it cost. Oh well. Sad. That was our number 3, and it was your number 3. So we get to go to our number 2. Yep. Our number 2.
Go ahead and guess it's the Silent Mary.
It is the fucking Silent Mary. You don't have the Silent Mary.
I don't have the Silent Mary. No.
Interesting. Okay.
Go ahead. Explain why you like the Silent Mary.
I like the Silent Mary because this motherfucker eats boats.
It ate the Queen Anne Revenge, for Christ's sake. It fucking destroyed it.
This is a magical skeleton of a ship that eats other ships. That's insane. I like the Salazar story more than I like the movie. I like the ghost that kind of haunt the thing.
Yeah.
And also, pretty cool Lego set. This one I do own. I have not built it because it's a giant thing. And I love that it has a mechanism so you can twist the pieces and it bends and actually does the pose like it's gonna eat it. It comes with Ghost. It comes with Ghost Sharks, which is amazing. And honestly, I'm surprised you didn't put this one on your list because even talking about haunted boats, this is actually pretty fucking gruesome and cool looking. So what the hell?
So I'm a little hard on this ship. I probably should have included it. But my thing is, I think it's a wasted ship. I think it's a really cool looking ship, and the idea that it can bend up and wreck ships is cool. We never actually see it do that. It never destroys the Queen Anne's Revenge. They just kind of bend up and look at it, and we never see it get destroyed. You never see it in action. It's a cool mechanism that you never actually see do anything. I like Salazar a lot as a villain. I think he's completely wasted. I think his ship is completely wasted, and I think the idea, like the thing that I love the most, is the broken sail. That's like sailing and like drags along. Is really cool. I think it's a cool design. I just think it doesn't get anything to do. Whereas every other ship that I have serves at least some sort of a purpose. Like even the Dying Gull serves more of a purpose to that movie than the Silent Mary, which is the thing that disappoints me. Because the Dying Gull is not a great ship. It's basically a dinghy, but it says a lot more about Jack Sparrow and his current situation. And the threat of Salazar, that it can barely outrun it. The fact that the Dying Gull can outrun the Silent Mary at all is kind of sad. So to me, that's why the Dying Gull is shit at just shit, terrible. And it's still better than the Silent Mary because it outruns it. So I think it's a cool design and a cool ship that's absolutely wasted. There's also no cannons on this shit. What are you gonna do?
Of course, I told you it was a cannon whore.
I am a cannon whore. What are you going to do? There's no fucking cannons. What are you going to do in a fight?
I just realized something now that I see back the Queen Mary. We forgot to mention that boat was originally piloted by zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blackbeard zombies actually ran the ship before Barbossa took it. So that's actually pretty important. We didn't even fucking mention it. We suck at this. So yeah, you're wrong. It's the boat number 2. So, what did you put at number 2 that you think is better than the Silent Mary?
I think we have the same number 1. So my number 2 was the same season earlier. It's the Queen Anne's Revenge.
Okay.
So the Queen Anne's Revenge
is for the picture. Wait.
Okay. I'll pause. Pregnant pause for the picture.
Boom.
Queen Anne's Revenge is the coolest. One of the coolest ships on the Seven Seas. If there's a ship that strikes fear into the hearts of men more than the Black Pearl, there's only 2 ships that do it, and one of them is the Queen Anne's Revenge because it's Blackbeard. It's Blackbeard. The thing is, you don't know the name of the ship; you just know Blackbeard, and then you don't really know they're associated. But when you hear the name the Queen Anne's Revenge, you sit there for a second and you go, "I'm on Blackbeard ship," and that's one of my favorite moments. Is when he sits there and he goes, "Is this the Queen Anne's Revenge?" And he gets nervous and he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, fuck. Because that ship has the ability to be controlled by a motherfucking sword. That's sick as shit.
Yeah.
If you have that sword, you can make the ropes come down and entangle your enemies. That ship is good for like cannon fire and like gunplay and long distance fighting. But if you get raided, you have even more of an advantage than if you're using cannons. That rope is going to strangle the guys that come on your ship. Those sails are so fast. Also, just in a design way, look at the cabin right there on the back. The cabin of that ship is the coolest looking cabin on any pirate ship ever. That is a sweet looking design. Also, red sails, I think, are even better than black. Those are like, it gives you a regal sense of terror. If you know it's the Black Pearl from Black Sails, you know it's the Queen Anne's motherfucking Revenge with the red sails. And the fire just coming off the back of the ship. Like, from a design level, from a threat level, from a combat level, from every level, I think the Queen Anne's Revenge is a better ship than the Black Pearl. But I don't think it's the best ship in the Caribbean. It's very close, though. But it's a very cool ship. And easily the coolest thing in On Stranger Tides.
It's almost like this movie is better than the next movie.
It's really not, though.
I love how we are arguing about the fucking bottom of the barrel here.
Right.
Everybody agrees these 2 are the shittiest pirate movies.
Easily the shittiest, too. But
my shit is better than your shit.
I stand by the shit in 5. I don't stand by the shit in 4. 4 makes me embarrassed to be a Pirates fan. 5 doesn't.
Dude, 5 makes me want to go to sleep. But I guess then number 1 has to be the same one for both of us.
Yes, the Flying Dutch. Right.
Wait. Let me get a good picture of it. I don't even know if is this it? Fuck it. It's a black and white picture. If you have a better picture, send it to me. But number 1, yes, is the fucking Flying Dutchman.
The Flying Dutchman. Go ahead. You talk about it.
This is David Jones' ship. This thing is not only a ship. Apparently, it's also a submarine because it actually sails under the fucking water.
Yeah.
And what makes up the crew of Davy Jones? The lost souls of people who die at sea and don't want to die, so they just pledge their soul for 100 years to serve at the helm of the Dutchman. And they serve underwater for so long. This is a cooler picture, you're right. And they fly. They spend so much time undersea that they become sea creatures themselves.
Yeah.
Mutated. Undead.
And it has a mechanism that controls the fucking Kraken.
And it controls the fucking Kraken. Dude, I mean, I don't think there's a very much thing to argue here. It's the fucking insanest, magicalest ship on the thing. This is better than the ship that eats the other ships.
This is the most overpowered ship in Pirates of the Caribbean, and somehow the Black Pearl still manages a way to defeat it twice. And I wouldn't even say defeat. It survives. That's the thing. Every ship that it fights, it like escapes or destroys. It never destroys the Dutchman. It survives the Dutchman. And I think that's a major thing. Technically, the Queen Anne's Revenge is the one that destroys the Black Pearl, but we never see it, so like asterisk. But the Flying Dutchman, like you guys said, it can do basically anything. Like the way that it goes underwater and submerges is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in a movie. Like the moment that they all just start screaming down and it goes down, right? I was Pinto and Rigetti in the immediate following moment, shitting myself as I see it go underwater and I just run. That's the proper, appropriate response to a ship that can go above water, underwater, can travel to different worlds. Yeah. Because the only ship really that can make it into the locker and survive, because as seen in the at World's End, Sao Fang's secondary ship is destroyed going into World's End. Because they go over the waterfall, it does not survive the crash. The Dutchman does not have to do that. The Dutchman can just travel between the two. Davy Jones is the coolest character in any Pirates movie. He is a great villain and a great character, and to have the ship be an extension of him is a great idea. The way that it's barnacly and dilapidated and just covered in just like seaweed and shit and barnacles, like it looks worn down because Davy Jones is worn down. And I think it's a great extension of the way he feels. And the moment that in At World's End, when Will takes control and it comes back from under the water, like it's reborn because of the new captain. And Will is back because he's been reborn with a new purpose and fulfilling his destiny as a pirate now. It's just the Dutchman is always a great extension of who the captain is at the time. And I think even in Dead Man's Chest when it comes, or Dead Man's Tales when it comes back, is it underused? Yes. Dude, I want it to come back and be part of the final fight. Absolutely. But it does a really cool thing where they bring back the Dutchman and it's half the reborn ship from the end of At World's End and half back to being its barnacle self. And you see Will and he's half barnacles. And you can see like Will's been through some shit. And so the ship has been through some shit. And I love the way that they do that. Also, I am a cannon whore. The cannons on this ship are insane. The cannons on this ship are fucking ridiculous. Not only are they just cannons, they are triple guns. Yeah. They are triple gun cannons that can go shoot, turn, shoot, turn, shoot, turn. Like, you get 3 shots of a cannon before you have to reload. It's ridiculous. This, like, the fact that the Pearl survived this says a lot to the will of the crew of the Pearl than it does the power of the Dutchman. And I would love to see this ship come back again because this thing is beautiful. It's the craziest ship to ever fucking sail the Caribbean, and it's easily the best ship in the franchise.
And we agree. That's a good job. Dude, Bill Nye is the best as Davy Jones.
Best.
Yeah. The thing that bothered me the most about A World's End is that he starts the movie being a bitch to Lord Beckett. I know it's to serve a purpose, still rubs me the wrong way. And he made him kill the Kraken. When you see the dead tentacles in the beach, it's just fucking sad.
You're right. It sucks, but at the same time, it's like, it makes sense. It's what would happen. The Navy has control of the most powerful legendary figure in all of sea lore. what else are you gonna do? Get rid of the most dangerous creature that's in the water, and also hold the balls of the most terrifying sea captain in a vice, because you couldn't control Jack Sparrow, and now you can control Davy Jones, who's the next best thing. It's like it's this sort of it shows a lot about what Davy Jones has to do with his heart not being in his chest and the dangers of that.
So to wrap up this awesome ranking of things that you know way more than us about, for the next pirate movie with Margot Robbie, apparently, what do you want to see in ships?
So here's what I want most. This is what I want the Margot Robbie Pirates of the Caribbean movie. If I can't get my dream sixth, which would be a last Jack Sparrow movie that takes the post-credit scene to 5 called The Legend of Jack Sparrow, and it wraps up his character's arc by proving he's a good man. If we're not doing that, and we're doing this Margot Robbie one, then I want this to be a totally new character in a totally new world within one that I understand. If Tortuga shows up, cool. If islands that I recognize show up, cool. What I want is Margot Robbie to be red. If she's red, make her red. And make her the pirate captain who has absolutely no fucking morals. Anything goes, except she has one moral flaw, which is she feels empathy towards women in need. And so when she comes back to Tortuga and she sees the scene from Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which is the buy a wife, she frees them, and and because she's still a pirate, in order to repay their debt, like you owe me, you have to be part of my crew. And it's this sort of pirate captain who goes around collecting crew that she feels like she has to save, and creates this bond between like hero and like, I'm responsible for you. And she masks that I'm responsible for you by you have a debt to me. And I think that's a really cool character complex. That'd be awesome. But her ship should be fucking red. If she's red, make the ship red. That would be sick. A red ship sailing anywhere. You go, oh shit. Like, I think, and it also is an extension of her character's personality. Like, sure, her name's red, her hair's red. If the ship is red, you're like, okay, matches. But I think making the ship, the thing that the Dutchman does is it's an extension of the character, and I want the ship to be an extension of her. It looks the way that she feels. It matches who she is as a character, and that's what I want more than anything. And if I could get my dream wish, would be that she finds the big bad midway through the movie, and they are about to win, and then something happens and they lose, and she kind of finds herself separated from her crew, alone on an island, alone from the thing that she, like, the reason why she was going to win was the crew and they were together, right? And she finds herself now alone on an island, separated from everything that made her red, and she finds Jack Sparrow. And Jack Sparrow and her have a conversation. I don't need Jack to be part of the final fight. If he's part of the final fight, fucking dope. But if he's not, I just want one scene. And it's Jack meeting Red and her kind of being like, you're Jack Sparrow. And he's like, and I don't know who you are. And that sort of scene. Fair. And they have this conversation where she's like, I don't know how to do this without my crew. And he tells her, you can't do anything without your crew, because I couldn't do anything without my crew. But if your crew is anything like mine, they will come and find you. They will come and save you, and they will do anything for you. So you should do anything you can for them. And it's this sort of passing of the torch scene. And that's all I need, is one passing of the torch scene between Jack and Red. And then you can keep doing whatever the fuck you want with Red. And maybe we get another Jack movie. I want one more Jack movie. God damn it. I want The Legend of Jack Sparrow. But yeah, I like it. The thing is, I don't trust the team making it. If I'm being completely honest, that's what I'm worried about. We'll see. I hope it's great. But the thing is, I already have ideas for what it could be, and I'm already letting myself down because they're not thinking the way I am about these movies.
Who's gonna direct this thing? Have they announced that yet?
I don't think so, but I would be shocked if it isn't Kathy Young.
Interesting pick, actually.
I would personally, if I got to choose one person to direct a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I would love to see Ryan Coogler make a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, because okay. I think he has a really great creative vision and a really good eye for making things look cool. So his attention to detail on the ships would be really cool. His attention to detail on how these characters present and act. I think he could give us a lot of new takes on characters that we like would never see in a Gore Verbinski Pirates of the Caribbean movie or in a Rob Marshall Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Like, I just kind of want to see what Ryan Coogler's take on Pirates would be. I also would love to see like basic bitch answer. I don't ever want to see Damien Chazelle make a big blockbuster movie, but like if he made a Pirates movie, I'd watch it. I had a legitimate answer for who I wanted to direct a Pirates movie, and I totally forgot who I wanted. But those are the two people that I always say go to make a Pirates movie.
Not bad.
I may not know that much about Pirates itself, but I do know Disney lore in Disney parks. And actually, the history of Red is a little interesting one. I'm just gonna keep it short because it's not part of what it is. But I don't know if you know this, Mike. Red started as the top prize of the wife auction in the Disneyland Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yeah.
Like they had all the women tied up, and she was a redhead that it was like looking very good, and they were like auctioning her. So time passes, morality changes, politically correctness changes. So it's no longer cool to have a scene where you're auctioning off women. You know?
Yeah.
They even removed the woman that was hiding in a barrel so they wouldn't sell her. I think they put Jack Sparrow in that barrel. Now that I think
they did, and now he's one of the three. Spot the Jack Sparrow in the ride.
So now Red is no longer the top prize for the auction. She's actually a pirate holding the auction. I don't remember what they're auctioning now. It's not women.
No. It's like an inverse of the scene. She rescued those women, and now they're like selling weapons, guns, something. I don't remember.
They're selling something, but she's actually running now the thing. Which would
be really cool backstory is like midway through the movie, like the third act thing that you find out about her is the reason why she has this empathy towards saving these women who are being abused in these situations is because she was one of them. It would be a really cool thing. There's a lot of rich lore character work that you could do with Red that I think would be really fucking cool. But
this is the kind of thing, Mike, that we would have done. It would have studied the ride, not just the movies.
I love the ride so much. So
yeah, actually, I have never gone to California, and I have a friend who did. And as soon as he came back, we both loved Disney World, and he just like, dude, Pirates of the Caribbean in Disney World, fucking trash.
It is.
What? He's like, Disneyland is like, oh, fucking Disney World. I don't even want to ride it anymore.
Because the thing with the Disney World ride is they change most of it. Like, it's a lot more of like, hey, right out the gate, Wicked Wench, this. But like in the Disney one, you like start out in like Did Almost Fucking Bayou, and you're just like chilling out in this ambiatic thing, and then you go over World's End, and then you go through like all the different like fucking skeletons. Like the thing is, and the funny thing is, most of the stuff that you experience on this ride was there before the movies. So the movies are like homaging out, like the entire point of World's End, like is taken right from the ride. Tia Dalma's Bayou is ripped straight out of the ride. Like a lot of these things are like, and like mentions and references, like there are so many things straight out of the ride that they take and incorporate in these movies in little ways that like at this point have gone back and re-influenced the ride. And I think that's what's great.
This is the thing. Disney World, they didn't want to do Pirates of the Caribbean originally. They wanted to get kind of like an inspiration from Disneyland, but not do exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. And they also figured that people in Florida wouldn't be that excited about pirates because they have actual fucking pirates. I mean, they lived piracy, so they didn't want to celebrate that. So they actually wanted to develop this Western thing. Like it was based on the Old West. It was called the Thunder Mesa Project. It's kind of heartbreaking for me as a park fan because I have seen the drawings. I know what they were going to do with Thunder Mesa. It was also going to be a ride like the Pirates of the Caribbean, but way based on like the Western thing. And they were starting to do that when people started showing up in Disney World. It's like, where are my fucking Pirates of the Caribbean? They're like, we don't do that. It's like, what the fuck not? Fuck this park. We're not coming back. And they left. And they were like, you know what? We need to make fucking Pirates of the Caribbean right now. So they took out the money that they were going to use for Thunder Mesa. And they made apparently what now I know is a kind of a quickie, cheaper version of Pirates of the Caribbean. Just to satisfy the customers. Thunder Mesa, actually, the only part that survived was Big Mountain Railroad because that was always going to be the centerpiece of Thunder Mesa. And they actually did the motherfucking big version of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Thunder Mesa thing in Disneyland Paris, which is freaking awesome. I went once, and that is the best ride ever.
It's also in Disneyland. Like, that's Frontierland. That was from Jump Street, Thunder Mountain, and everything is right there.
Yeah. Anyway,
I could do a whole fucking Disneyland episode with you, Nazari. We'll just talk Disneyland forever.
That's gonna be the next time I bring you in, because
I'll rank Disneyland rides. Let's go.
Oh.
Let's go. I'll rank Disneyland rides. Let's make it a double header. We did ships. Here we go. Disneyland rides. Number 1, Haunted Mansion. Run it.
I'm not going to answer that because it's going to ruin what we can do for another episode. But yes, it's actually a pretty good story for Pirates of the Caribbean and all other Disney rides because it's a great park.
Yeah, it is.
But for now, that's it. Thank you to the Pirate King down here.
Yes.
Thank you to Mike for helping me out with the list. And screw Mike for not putting the ride in the bout. We'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.